Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Signal, and today's video analysis on Micron Technology, symbol M as in Mary, U as in University, was recorded on Tuesday, December 29th, 2020. This is a chart that goes back some 30 years on this stock. I'm going to show you the extremes in a moment, but before I jump into today's analysis, just a reminder, if you would, to tell any of your trader or investor friends about wickedsignal.com. Have them go to the free subscription link at the top of the page, provide their first, last name, email address, and they or you will receive an email each and every time a new video is uploaded and ready for your viewing. Once again, I won't load your inbox with sales pitches, and I will not share your personal information, contact information with anyone outside the organization. So let's take a look at the extremes of Micron Technology. Oh, by the way, if you're not familiar with Micron, you probably are, but it is an American producer of computer memory and computer data storage, including random access memory, flash memory, USB flash drives, etc., etc. They're headquartered in Boise, Idaho, and that's really all I'm going to say about them. Let's talk about this chart. That you can see the NASDAQ high, if you will, the NASDAQ bubble high of 2,097.50, dropping, some 8 years later to the financial crisis low of $1.59. And then most recently, the pullback high from the 2008 low was placed in December of this year, just a few weeks prior to recording this video, at 74.60. And so those are the extremes. I'm not going to get into all the wave counts and so forth and so on. And in fact, this let's open up the chart actually, and I'm going to show you this area here, which is about 5 or 6 years of data. So the chart opens up. I'm going to show you a couple formations. One is the fact that we do have, or we're in the midst of what I call a near to midterm buy signal, a 2 to 3 month buy signal. And before I jump into this, let me just emphasize that this analysis, this video analysis, is a shade different than what I have been producing. I'm normally combing and looking and filtering for ready to emerge or recently emerged buy signals that you can play off of almost immediately, or based upon certain conditions if we settle above certain levels. That's not what I'm doing here. I am just painting a picture from Micron that if you're an aggressive, near-term trader, if you play the call, the put sides aggressively, I'm just going to give you some support levels and some resistance levels that you can play off of in the next month or two ahead. But if we're going to backtrack a little bit, you can see that, and this is actually the week, Thanksgiving week, we settled above this formation. That was the week of Monday, November 23rd. We settled above this 63.20 channel top. That did set off a buy signal into the first quarter of 2021 this year. That should play out for the next 2 to 3 months. I'll give you that in a moment. But first, I just want to show you that this channel top rises 4 full weeks later, the first week of February, to 63.39. So 63.20 first week of Jan, 63.39 first week of Feb. As per usual, you can subtract them out, divide by 4, and you'll have the exact location of that channel formation each and every week in between. That is your base of support. If the market falls to this area, and it may, I'll show you that signal in a moment, the near-term signal. But if it does fall to this area, this is an opportunity to liquidate any puts that you may have over the previous weeks, or you could buy calls at that point in time. You could obviously buy the stock. And this area is preceded by the 2018 high of 64.66. So it is a gradually narrowing range of meaningful support that can absorb selling, I'm going to say through the first quarter, possibly well into 2021. And from here, I have a target in the 79 handle that is rising ever so gradually. 79.35 the first week of Jan, 79.78 the first week of Feb. You can subtract them out, divide by 4, and you'll have the location of that rising channel top, that targeted channel formation each and every week in between. It is rising through time. So if you make note of these levels, you'll know where that channel formation is at any time in March, April, or May. If I neglect to update you this on Micron during that time. So anyway, I'll not leave you in this moment, but I'm going to, at the end of this video, you'll be left with a sense of a two-sided framework through the first quarter, albeit within the framework of a buy signal. It still remains in effect above 63.20. So essentially what I'm saying is, if we're to test either of these areas over the coming month or two, it's likely to be the 79 area rather than 63 area. But if we do test the 63.20 area, 63.20 to 64.66, that is a good zone to buy into, I'm going to say longer term, the months ahead, then anticipating a bullish rotation from that lower area up into the 79 handle, which by that point in time will be in the 80-81 area as we continue going through time. And so that's what I'm basically emphasizing here. There's no fresh buy signal for you to act on. I'm just saying that if we break into the 63.20 to 64.66 area, a good zone to buy. And if we rally into the 79 area or higher, a good zone to sell. Now, nearer term, let's zoom in on this area right here. And I'm going to show you what I would consider to be a meaningful short-term sell signal. By short-term, I'm talking the next several weeks. If we were to close below 69.40, and 69.40 is nothing more than simple bar chart analysis. It is the low of the high. The high was actually, bear with me, I should have this ready, I know, but I don't. 74.60 placed the first full week of December, the week of Monday, December 7th. 74.60 was the high, and the low that week was 69.40. And as I was actually doing this analysis earlier today, we were dipping below that 69.40 low. We got down to 69.14, but we came back nicely in the day. So I don't see a reason to play the short side, this stock, over the next few weeks unless we close the week below 69.40, in which case I would then anticipate 20 to 64.66 area within a few weeks. Inversely, the buy signal that I would anticipate would be a new channel top that remains valid so long as that 69.14 low remains good into next week. And that's a low that was put out, I believe, on Tuesday, December 29th. So 74.25 to 73.91, that's the channel top. That is an area that can contain weekly buying pressures. We could trade inside this near-term consolidative region for the next several weeks, with 69.40 being the base, previous slide, and the 74.25 area dropping to 73.91 being your resistance. We could trade inside that for the next few weeks. If we close above 74.25, I then would anticipate what still remains a big picture objective at 79.35 over the following 2 to 3 weeks. So this is the kind of I initially paint you the big picture, the next few months, 63.20 base, 79 handle resistance, and inside that we can actually identify a short-term sell signal to the downside below 69.40 and a short-term buy signal to the upside above 74.25. Beyond that, I'm just repeating myself, which I do a lot in these videos. I think a repetition is important. It kind of drills the idea home, but you can do too much of it because I can bore the heck out of you, I'm sure. And all you really have to do is rewind and watch again. So I'm going to leave you now with this Micron Technology video from Wicked Signal.